First up, we have Mr. V.S. Parthasarathy, Group CIO, Executive VP, Finance and Mergers and Acquisition Services and Accounts at the Mahindra & Mahindra Group. Mr. Parthasarathy's session has a rather ominous sounding title, Why the CIO Must Change or Perish. I can't wait to hear what Mr. Parthasarathy has to say, and I'm sure neither can you, so without much ado, I'd like to call him up on the stage.
Good morning. Yeah, it's always very difficult to start a session like this cold when you're all having your, meeting and you all have your teas and things. And you're all meeting up after a long time and talking with friends and saying, how is your friend doing? Yeah, what is he up to? Whose girlfriend, is doing what? Sorry, whose wife is doing what? Yeah, so all that stuff is going on, and then I come and say, oh, let's talk something official, something business. It's always a very difficult thing to get the spoon of the mouth. And I'm very reminded that when we go into old times, they didn't have all this column mic to gather everybody's attention. So I went and researched this, and they had a very nice way of getting attention of people. If you look at any old plays, let's take the Macbeth play is going on, okay? So Macbeth is a very serious sense of affairs. But when people like you come and sit, then on the stage actually, there is just two gods going back and forth. And nothing else is happening on the stage. And then suddenly from the crowd, somebody runs into the stage. And one of the guys says, hey, who goes there? And suddenly the entire attention of the audience is towards the stage. And then this play goes on. So with that, can I now start to talk about the topic of today? I hope your attention is also reverted towards the stage just now. The topic is very simple. I believe that there is a lifetime opportunity today for CIOs. And this lifetime opportunity we can either convert or let the passage of time and history record that we missed a golden opportunity. That's broadly what I'm going to talk about. So, will you change or will you perish? Will I change or will I perish? Okay. So this is how the CIO's office looks today. Nice, clean. And you can see the various laptops going and some of the awards in the back. And we are known for getting awards always, right? So, but I think tomorrow this is what it look like. Yeah. There will be no CIO's office. And the reason that is because the world is changing dramatically. The world is changing in terms of becoming global. We're going to have more and more acquisitions. India will become a global village, a part of the global arena. And acquisition is going to be a part and parcel of this journey. Either we will get acquired or somebody will acquire us. There is now we talk about business as in functions, in silos. It will become more and more integrated. It will be seamless. And there will be change management which will be on top of everything that we do. And this is a very interesting slide. When I got this slide from my Shreyesh, who put up this slide, I asked him, what does this mean? How do you explain, freedom versus control? Freedom is to choose anything that you want. And control is to say you can wear black and white. Or you can have freedom of any choice as long as it's black and white. Yeah, so that's the control versus freedom. And once in a while, you can wear a sweater if it's very cold. Yeah, that's the kind of options that we give. And it's very important to understand these two needs that comes, one from the users and one from IT who wants standardization, freedom, and so on. The next one, and I think the CIO needs to look at it as an integrated, communication, information, technology. These are three words which is going to, kind of do rounds as we go on. Okay, I could call it ICT, but some people won't like it. I'll call it CIT, some people won't like it, but there is a convergence. Technology, information, and communication. These three are going to get intertwined as we go along more than we feel today. And you will have all the things that I put up on the chart, whether it's innovation, enterprise, agility, competitive differentiation. We're going to play a critical role in deciding competitive advantage. Internal collaboration, external collaboration, and all of this bound together through two themes called innovation and communication. And if you look at this changing environment, the slides next I'm going to present is data-based. I'm not probably the best guy to talk. Gartner may be better. Yeah, but I'm going to give this in terms of saying and in terms of kind of leading to say what kind of memo changes that we are seeing today. And if you look at the new world, it's a world of 3 C's. Connect, collaborate, and converge. We are all connected wherever we are. And that's why offices will become redundant. We need to collaborate. Wherever we are in the world, we need to collaborate. And then converge all these aspects to make it a vibrant business model. And what the customer? Just look at what I'm going to have. Santa introducing his family. He's going to say, "Ye meri bibi Google Core. Ek sawal pucho, 10 jawab de diya." So that's the kind of thing. And Facebook Sing. This is the other one, which is, I'm Facebook Sing. Ghar ki baat mohalle par pahunchati hai. So this is already, putting everything, the Facebook, into the world. Ye mein beti Twitter kor, pura mohalla raat din isko follow karta hai. Okay, everybody is, damn thrilled about this. And ye hai YouTube. इसको तू और आप मुझसे बेहतर जानते हैं. You all know him better or her better than I will be able to tell, because you see her more often than I do. So this is going to be the social environment where we are all going to be connected in more ways, that a family will know itself not as much as outsiders do in different ways. And this is something which is inevitable. It may be disturbing, it may not be, but it's necessarily a transformation that is happening. And the convergence of communication in future will become his mobile. And, I had this thought about, once Cisco asked me to describe what a eventual tool will be, and I said it will be something like this. I'll press a button, it will become a cell phone, and I'll press another button, it will become a iPad kind of an equivalent, or a tablet where I can punch in, and I can, like the old time Japanese fan, I can just collapse it and it'll again become a small tool in my hand. And I'll walk with this tool connected to the entire world in terms of video, in terms of voice, in terms of data. Everything will collaborate to this. And this was 7 years back. And today when I look, almost half of it is already in play. Yeah? You can have FaceTime, you can have, data, you can have voice, almost doing the necessary things. All it needs is a little bit smallish, and microchips and in-memory computing will make that happen soon. Riding the digital tiger is another big thing. I can talk a lot about data, but it's not about data. It's about the fact that Facebooks have huge following, and HTTP, www, you can have as many. And if you have to look at some data, which I picked up from an Intel site, which is huge amount of this, huge amount of data is there. There are zillions of terabytes being used. There are huge amount of personal location which is happening, huge amount of acquisitions that are happening, big data, lot of customers acquisition. All this is happening. And what is more important to note is in the first 5 to 7 years of this evolution, whatever was done In one single day it is being done today. Acquisition, the data is expanding by that leaps and bounds. And what I believe, that if internet was a movie, we will still be in the opening credit with this level of data. Eventually, when we go to a journey, this will look very, very, just that initial 2 minutes, which is being played here. The next one, in terms of what you're saying, the computer continuum, is all about the customer. And he can do, as I said, everything through what a handheld device which he will have. Yeah, it is what we make possible that brings the user experience to life. So it's going to be all about how we're going to enable this entire communication device. I will have TV as the recreation center. I will have office as a recreation center. But everything will be happening where you are, what you are. You don't have to go to the source of information. Information source will come to you as you go in the future. And the web and mobile experience will just expand, whether it will be web, SMS, whatever, BBM, and so on. It's going to just expand. Now let's come to the IT users in business. And then if you look, this was the syndrome when we had evolved. We felt we were evolved, and we used to have the office looking at, data centers, and the mobile users trying to connect to the internet and through that to the data center. Now already this proliferation has happened. The 3G, 4G, the WiMAX, all this are making the experience much, much different than what it was earlier. The other thing, which is in terms of converging and collaboration, voice plus video, this was a mobile users and partners and LANs and a corporate network. And I've actually used here the Mahindra network as it exists today. So this is the kind of, broadband or broadening that we are doing to that entire thing, where the LAN and WAN users and mobile users all are coming together. It's happening seamlessly. The only thing is that today I have 4 devices which I hold, and take those devices along with me as I do. As time goes on, these all will collapse into 1 or maybe max 2 devices, and then everything will rest with that. So the office will follow you, you won't follow the office. And the beauty is, and this is where the transformation starts to come. Till now I talked about what is happening to IT, what's happening to users and IT users. But the change is that the new horizons and the new challenges is coming in terms of various kind of businesses. All this business exists. And the big challenge is to say energy, efficiency, trust of the users, experience. Now, SAP is probably one of the best ERPs. My users are not satisfied with that ERP because its user experience has to improve greatly. And the new technologies SAP is bringing is to probably address those. Yeah. So it's becoming, user experience is becoming a god. Almost, it's like a kid. A user is like a kid telling us, I want what I want, when I want, where I want. And we need to then start to engage him in the journey. Data is going to be mammoth. It's going to be, terabytes. We keep discussing as IT and as CIOs, many of you will face this problem. Boss, the data is going to go out of my, big box. I need to add more, hard disk or more kind of thing. This is a constant problem. Now just think, if every time that happens every day, what kind of changes that we'll be able to do are management and automation. And last but not least, connectivity. I can't have the face breaking. Today's problem in video conferencing, I always say, please shut off the video, let's have a data call. And the reason is the video conferencing, bandwidth is not good enough. And therefore, it is not seamless. At least voice, you can hear him very clearly. But tomorrow's world will say all that will have gone away, and therefore the connectivity and the bandwidth management will become a key issue. But more than this, the key thing is that we will have to succeed across all functions. And that's going to be fundamental to this. So what's going to change? Big data is going to come in, volume is going to be there, the pace of change is going to dramatically shift. There is going to be variety. Yeah, it is almost like, you're in a movie which plays different kind of movies. You can have one genre, you can have horror movie in the morning, action, drama, family, all that going in a single day. You will transgress through all this. And business analytical will become the competitive difference. And let me talk about the next one, which is in terms of what does this all do when it comes to technology. The connected world is going to be Internet of Things. People like Cisco and IBM will talk about this much better than I can. But the key thing from a user point of view, from our point of view, is to say this is going to change things dramatically as time goes on. The near field communication is going to be another big connected world thing, and augmented reality. If we come and connect all these things, we are almost going to be in a world where IT will lead us and help us do anything that we want to do. And then, as time goes on, as it evolves, I talked to you about this being my PC, plus my mobile, plus my iPad, plus this. And that's what is put in here. The media tablets will happen, next generation user interface will come. And it can naturally be able to understand the way I speak, the way we are able to, human beings are able to understand. IT will also, and the technology will also start understanding that kind of language. And analytical advances. Yeah? The first one I talked about, in-memory computing on your right-hand side of my screen at least. And then the big data and predictive analysis. Just think about, we are able to say, I'm watching this movie nowadays called Person of Interest. It's an US serial in which the computer is able to determine who is going to commit a crime in the next 48 hours or who is going to be assassinated in the next 48 hours. And of course the movie is about the hero saving them before he is killed. But the key thing is that predictive analysis has come to pass in this age to that extent that it can predict what's going to happen. Yeah. So we not have time. The future is here, is today. It's not actually wait for another 5-10 years these changes are going to happen. It's happening as fast as with a pace we have never seen. And if we are not able to differentiate ourselves, go back one step and look in, we'll almost be like the toad which is in a pan of fire. It doesn't realize, it'll just, it'll get warm, it'll get hot, and it'll boil over. That's what is going to happen unless we can do. Just giving an example of an M&M customer, and I'll take you through a little bit of in terms of what's happening today or could happen. Okay, tech-savvy Krishna serves for a new car. He visits the M&M website, reads blogs. He firms up the buy for the next generation SUV. He goes through a virtual dealership, takes test rides, everything that he wants to do. He uses a product configurator to choose his options and color. He uses some technology to get the delivery dates. And then it comes Shiva, the marketing executive, who uses the virtual studio to explain the personalizations that can be done. And he uses other technologies to access data. And then Shiva confirms order through a SAP ERP, gets the price and the availability date. In the plant, somebody prepares a bomb which is specific for that customer. Infinite possibility of specialization and personalization that can be done. And he uses that to standardize at the back end but to give customer exactly what it will be. Every piece will be a work of art related to the customer. We use various mechanisms to do the resource planning and schedules lines through using SRM. And if I'm looking like a propagator of SAP, please go and tell them they should pay me royalty. Yeah. So MES broadcast JIT sequence and build sheet, and all are RFA tagged so that they can be connected. And IT user Aslam traces the SUV till it reaches the entire process cycle, and Ela picks up from the Mahindra Logistics, picks up that, she knows when to pick up that delivery and then deliver it to the customer. Optimize truckload and therefore the costs around logistics, and then he informs Krishna that your vehicle is on the way to you. And SUV dealer then manages to give through the dealer management system a service to him, and then there is one more delighted customer for this. This is the process. It's not very far off. 80% of it today we do, 20 we will do before tomorrow. So this is the kind of thing. And then we can ask the question, does the story end here? Fortunately, no. Yeah. So the next part of the connect comes is that now Krishna has got his SUV. So I said, no, we may not need at this stage the Gopians, but Krishna alone can buy, he can have experience of Mahindra Retail, World City, and along with his wife. Now we involving his entire family to the next level, where we get in Radha, and she likes traveling, so she can book a holiday with Mahindra Holidays, and customer connect roads it to the Mahindra Holidays, where then she can have interaction. And then Mahindra Holidays guy, he puts her as a key customer, and then he searches his database and says, oh, she's already a customer. And then he can plan a loyal Mahindra customers holiday package, which gives her the requisite discount and makes her feel special. Okay, and then that story doesn't end then Krishna goes and says, oh, I want now a house. And in that house, what I want is that, I get a upscale high house, which is white and right. White because you don't have to go through all the haggles of underhand dealings, and it's the right kind of thing for an upcoming executive. And then they are very happy customers, and we have gone through this entire thing. And the question is this the end? I do it for one company, then I broad-base to do it across the group. Is this the end? And the answer is certainly no. And here is the shift which happens. When we go on tomorrow, look at the vehicle, for example. A vehicle will have IT as the base of driving. Yeah, you've seen some of the movies in which the cars will drive on themselves, will have the intelligence to go from point A to point B. The right driver may become redundant. Is it a 50-year from now episode, or is it coming very fast? And many of them are coming faster and are today. So the cars is now the intelligence system is sitting within. And same with any of the other products that you can do. What about services? If you look at Club Mahindra, if the IT system is intelligent enough to know when the one customer is leaving, when the next guy is going to come, what are his preferences? It actually goes and does the room redecoration the way the customer wants it, and has the business model to cater to each one of them. It cleans up, it decorates the room the way the next guy. It will make him a home every time a customer walks into that Mahindra holiday home. Is that an IT-enabled solution possible? It's just not possible. It's there. We just have to move the baton one more inch in order to get this kind of solution. Now, the key thing is not whether this is there. The key thing is whether we are the prime movers of that or not. And to talk about that, the connected business is becoming a reality. The 5 years back, it was brick and brick, just had everything, it is brick and brick. You had more brick and mortar places, I had dealer showrooms, I have, booths to sell tickets. Now today, it is brick, brick and click. Okay, you have bricks, but you also have the, web you can surf. It is a clear thing that in many, as in the aircraft industry, more and more, it will become click and sometimes brick. Yeah, you will have, if everything else fail, you can have a face to see, but the business model will be based on click and click. It just be web, enabled or IT enabled environment where you can sit at home, do everything. You don't need lot of, hard and brick and mortar buildings to do that. You know that when, some of the movie channels came in through this method, the entire chain in USA, which was based on building and the CD cassettes available there, went totally out of business. That's only one example. You will see such example every day as we go on. And unless we make that change, we are not going to be in business. Yeah. And if we are not making the change, I don't know whether that business will be there. I think it will be, but we may not be in business as CIOs. And I think that's the important thing that comes in of all this, that we are in the cusp. The technology is changing. IT is becoming the backbone of everything. IT is not just become a backbone, it just become the cutting edge as a differentiator. It is the technology of future. And therefore, how do we bring them together? This is a very simple thing that IT brings users, technology, and customers together. Very simple. But it's gone beyond it. And the next move is a transformation from a traditional to a new one. Okay, well, I'm going to put this up as slides, and you can read it. And the ones in the back who can't read, I promise you, you'll have the slides. Yeah. But basically, it says it's providing not just competitive, but strategic competitive advantage. Yeah. And if you look at the transformation that is required, on one side, if you look at the business knowledge, and the other side, you look at IT capability, what I am trying to kind of do with this 2x2 matrix is to say that if you have huge business knowledge and you have the IT capability to transform business, then you become a value creator. That CIO will become the pivotal of the company in which he works for. Otherwise, he will remain as a data information manager or a process information manager. And I think this is the journey that we all need to look at. I am also taking you into history. When the Industrial Revolution came, the manufacturing person became the most important person. He became the COO, head of manufacturing, and you saw many CEOs came from the manufacturing side. Okay, engineer banega to CEO banega. Yeah, this was phase one of evolution of companies and industrialization. Then he said, anything is fine, but product nahi to life nahi. If you don't have the product, and the R&D guy became the most important facet of that. So we said then, okay, here is what the R&D chief will do. He will create exciting new products. And then you had these engineers with an R&D bent of mind. Yeah, the R&D guys becoming the CEOs of company. Then the next wave came where he said that, listen, business model is financial business model. The CFO then became the business confidant, business enable, business strategist. And then you started financial persons becoming CEO. Now we are standing on a cusp based on whatever I've told you, where the technology is going, how it's changing businesses, and how business will be interdependent and dependent on IT. What we have is, we all can be IT supports of manufacturing, R&D, finance, and we can be IT, and the IT, as we know as CIOs, can all perish. We can just be an underpinning to many of this. Or we can be the CIO of the future and make sure that the next level of CIO is not just in the C-suite, but actually go on to become CEOs of companies, because now you know process, you know the business models which are based on IT, and tomorrow's IT is on products to services, etc. is going to be the R&D, the manufacturing, the finance drivers of all this. So this is the future. This is our promise. This is our chosen land if you want to go towards it, or we can perish. Of course, in order to do that, we need to do two things, very simply put. You have to connect, collaborate, and converge. That's the methodology. Bring all this together. You connect, collaborate to converge, and then you focus on enable, enhance, and engender, the 3 E's. Enable whatever needs to be done, because you can't forget the base needs to be there. Enhance everything. Take it to the next level for them, but most importantly, be the creator. Engender means creation. But I won't say create alone, co-create. And that would mean drive transformation, catalyst in change adoption, business integration expert, and aspire to be on the board of the company. That's your triangle, the ABCD that you need to learn if you are to go and do the change that you want to see and the role that IT can play in future. You can surf. If you don't, you'll be under the waves. I say AG, low G, suno G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and if you don't follow all this, I will say, IOG, I'm gone. So I want you not to that IOG, but in all the other paradigms where you all can become the tomorrow's CEOs, the game changers, the strategists, and everything. But the responsibility is with us. We need to change ourselves first. The paradigm, we need to believe we are the game changers. Then go and transform the world, our businesses, and that needs to be the game changer next. With that, I'll say all the best to all of you, to the future CEOs. Thank you. Do you take some questions?
Do we have any questions for Mr. Parthasarathy? We can probably take a couple. Can we have the mic over there? Yeah.
Okay. That's the three phases. If his question is, in order to be the CEOs of tomorrow, what do they need to do today, right? Yeah, okay. What do they need to do today in order to be CIO of tomorrow? I say that they need to recognize the paradigm called that I am the game changer. I want this to be believed. I'll give you an example. I've told my central pool of people that I want everybody can be a CIO. Please prepare today. And therefore, we have created a group center where they can be put in as CIO of companies, and we will, facilitate and nurture them. Okay? So you can be, so first is the self-belief. The second paradigm is to say that I am on the 3C and I will do the 3 E's, which is connect, collaborate, and, what I'm forgetting, the third C, converge. Yeah, connect, collaborate, and converge. And the 3 E's, focus every time on enable, enhance, engender. What is that you're going to do in these 3 blocks? And if they do the self-belief and then go out there and start to prove, yeah, there is a manufacturing setup in our, where the CIO is suddenly saying that I want to change the entire way manufacturing is done. And I think that's the fundamental thesis that one needs to do. And I'm saying last but not least, what has somebody got to do today in order to be CIO? Don't think about it. Think about what you need to do in order to be the CEO of tomorrow. CIO is a stepping stone to becoming CEO. So that's what I'll urge all of you.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Before I let you go,